Hey guys, welcome back to Ken Michaels Radio. I'm having a blast as always, bringing you programs on the Beatles, lots of interviews, and in the last couple of months, we've been doing trivia shows here and having so much fun doing it, bringing on 3 contestants with each show and testing their knowledge on all things Beatles, group years, solo years, their music, their history, whatever comes to mind. And this is our 5th show doing it. And let's bring on our 3 contestants. First, the person who won the last show, and that's Dylan Sevey from Nashville. He is a drummer, guitarist, songwriter. He's got his band called the Minks, who have a brand new album out. And he was able to defeat Joe Mayo from the Talk More Talk podcast. And Joe had won 3 times in a row. So you dethroned Joe. And
not without some controversy, though, according to the YouTube comments and the eventual playback, wherein what we thought was a tie, apparently, if you slow it down to, the millisecond, maybe it wasn't a tie. But I don't make the rules. Okay. I'm simply a product of what happened. So,
well, since we're low tech here and we don't have buzzers, and I asked my contestants to raise their hands and say their name at the same time, it looked awfully close. But if that situation happens again, I'll try and have something else ready. Okay? We're all doing this for fun. This is not something serious here. And we all know each other here on the show. Dylan, welcome back. It's always great to have you. Andy Nicholes is with us. He's been a guest here on this channel. You know him for being one half of the Two Legs podcast with Tom Hunyady. And actually, in part, he's kind of here to redeem the Two Legs podcast, because when Tom was on this show, it was kind of embarrassing. So yeah. Andy's here to hopefully win tonight. Of course, if Tom had done well, he would have been representing Talk More Talk. But if he was lousy, we'll blame Two Legs on that.
Yeah.
And should also point out, Andy has another podcast show just called The Other Leg, Andy's Music Vault. Welcome, Andy.
Yeah, hi, Ken. Yeah, The Other Leg, Andy's Music Vault. That's where I kind of dive into all things outside of the Beatles world. And it's nice to kind of keep things up to date on that channel, following my Dylan stuff, my prog rock stuff, all my stuff that I'm into. So yeah, thanks for having me on the trivia show. I am here to redeem the Two Legs brand because somebody in Phoenix dropped the ball.
As he's known to do quite often.
Yeah, I know all about it. We all have to suffer with Tom.
Thanks for inviting me on, and I'm happy to be here.
Also, we have Edward Crawford on, and he has his own podcast show on YouTube called Call Me Mr. Broadstreet. He was showing off his jacket a few moments ago, if you want to show the audience what you got there.
Got the jacket. I've even got the script. So there you go. As we were
what about the tapes?
The tapes. I have the broadcast tapes. Funny enough, I have the broadcast tapes from Fox Channel back in February of '87, I believe, when they broadcast it.
I thought the tapes had gone missing.
I managed to find them somehow. I don't know how, but, just a bit of magic. But no, honored to be on. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad to be back on, and good to be on with Andy and Dylan. And you know what? Let's
go, baby. Bring it on.
All right. Okay. You know how this works. There are 9 questions or games in the show. The first 3 are worth 1 point each. Then the next 3 are worth 2 points each. They're a little bit tougher. The only time things get complicated is when we get to the 7th game or question. If you get that right, you get 3 points. But the person who gets it right also has the option for going for the 8th game or question. And they have to pick between 3 games that I have ready for you. And if you get it right, you get 4 points for that. But if you get it wrong, you lose 4 points. It's the only way in the show that you can lose points. If you get it wrong in the rest of the show with any of these trivia questions or games, you don't lose points at all. Okay, it's only when it comes to when you try out for the 8th one and you pick one of the 3 games. And if you get it wrong, your opponents can then try and get the 4 points. Then the last trivia question or game is worth 5 points. Unlike the last few shows where I asked everyone to write down the answers. This is going to go back to what we did in our first show. It's a game called Still Standing, and I will explain all that when we get to it. All right, all of you have to raise your hand, say your name, and you guys ready? Ready to rack your brains?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Okay. So the first one is worth 1 point. And we always start with a Beatle one-liner. This is when I read part of the lyrics of a Beatles song or a solo Beatles song, and you have to name what song that is. And I'll be doing all the math here, keeping the scores for each of the three of you. All right. The liner reads, I can't conceive of any more misery.
Dylan.
Andy.
No, Andy. Well, Andy rose his hand first, but he didn't say his name. But really, we should give it to Andy because he raised his hand. Okay.
Say it again, Ken, one more time, please.
I can't conceive of any more misery.
The song name or the next line?
The song,
Oh,
the actual song,
ask me why.
because that's how it's worked. That's how it works in the show.
That's it.
Yeah.
Good one.
Okay. You're correct. Ask me why is the answer to that one. All right. So Andy is in the lead with 1 point. Next, we have a trivia question. What was the first Wings recording released credited as being written by Paul McCartney and Denny Lane?
Andy.
Okay.
No words.
Very good. Okay. No words for my love, but we'll take no words. Okay. Andy's on a roll here. You're pondering something there, Dylan.
It's just called No Words. It's not called No Words for My Love.
No words for my love. For my love in parentheses.
It's just titled No Words.
Okay. Maybe the early versions said.
Oh,
all right.
Possibly.
Tell me.
I mean, I'm only going by with the CD. CD
Okay.
shows no words.
Okay. I stand corrected, but you got the point anyway.
Actually, I think, Ken, I could be wrong, but on the liner, if you open up the sleeve
Uh-huh.
of the lyrics, I actually think it might say For My Love in parentheses on the inner sleeve.
Okay.
I think it might, but on the jacket, it says no words. I think.
All right. It's burned into my brain that way. So there's got to be a reason for it.
I think that might be the case.
Okay. Next game is called The Note They Never Wrote. That's when I read some song lyrics that's not a Beatles song or a solo Beatles song, but it makes a reference to the Beatles in the song. You got to tell me what song it is and the artist who recorded it. This is a classic rock song here. What song contains these lyrics? Phony Beatlemania has bitten the dust.
Dylan.
Ooh, you both were there at the same time.
Is this where people yell at me in the YouTube comments again?
Yeah.
You want to flip? You want to flip a coin?
See, we can't go back and play this to test
Yeah.
this.
We can flip a coin.
Flip a
You want to
coin.
do it that way, or should I just ask another question?
Let's flip a coin. Who's got a coin ready?
You want
I-
to do it that way?
Go
I
for
don't
it.
have any coins on there.
I could get one. Does anybody have one ready?
Looking around. Do I have one?
I'll get one.
Right.
I'll get one.
Okay.
This is the content that people subscribe to the channel for right here.
So,
I mean, let's say heads me, tails also me, and then
heads I win, tails you lose. That kind of
yes.
thing?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay. We got a
So
quarter.
Dylan is heads. Ed is going to be tails.
Ed's tails, Dylan's heads. Okay. It is tails.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy. All right.
What's the song?
The song is London Calling, and the artist is The Clash.
Very good. All right.
Now
Classic
back to
tune
our
right
regularly
there.
scheduled programming.
We figured out a way to handle this. I mean, I could have
Wow.
asked another question, but you both agreed on it, so fine. At some point, we will get buzzers for this show or some other more professional way of handling this. So now we move on to 2-point questions or games. All right, this is a trivia question. On both John Lennon's album of 50s rockers rock and roll and Paul McCartney's album called Shoba B, CCCP, also rockers of the 50s, they each recorded 2 completely different songs that share the same
Andy.
title.
Just because.
Very good.
Oh, wait. Don't you have to finish the question?
You really have to wait until I finish the question, but
You didn't specify that.
um,
I'm a newbie
We'll give it to
here.
him. We'll give it to him. We'll give it to him.
okay. All
I
right.
will in the future. I'll let you finish.
Okay, that's very good, Andy. You knew the answer, Dylan?
I did, but it's fine.
Okay. All right.
I'll get over it.
There are comebacks on this show. It can
Oh, yeah.
happen at any given time.
Oh, yeah.
You never know. Right now, Ed's the sleeper. He
I'm the
could end
dark
up winning
horse.
in the end. What's that?
I'm the dark horse.
That's right. Very good.
I don't have any points yet. I'm the sleeper here.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
I have a feeling that's going to change. All right. So now we move on to another trivia question. On the Beatles recording of Good Morning, Good Morning, there is a reference made to a TV sitcom in England. Can you name it?
Andy.
Dylan.
I heard Andy first. I really did. I'm sorry.
The show is
Andy.
called Meet the Wife.
Very good. It's time for tea and meet the wife. So right now, Andy has 6. Dylan doesn't have any points yet. And Edward has 1. So this is our final question or game for 2 points. It's another trivia question. What song on Ringo Starr's classic album Ringo is credited as being written entirely by George Harrison?
Dylan.
Okay,
Sunshine Life for Me. Sail Away, Raymond.
very good. You
Dylan's
couldn't
on the
keep him
board.
quiet. You couldn't keep him quiet. All right.
I'm a
So
Patriots
after-
fan. I got that Tom Brady comeback gene in me. Let's go.
fellow New Englander.
Okay, so now we're up to the 7th game or trivia question. This is a trivia question, and like I said, if you get this, you win 3 points, and you have the option of automatically being the person who tries for the 8th one, but has to pick between 3 games. And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You could be treated like anybody else and go for the 8th game or trivia question and go for 4 points. Okay? So, our question is, what 2 Beatles albums were released in the UK the exact same day, 5 years apart?
Andy.
Okay,
With the Beatles and the White Album, November 22nd, 1963 and November 22nd, 1968.
awesome. Awesome, Andy. Very good. And what was significant about November
JFK.
22nd? Yeah,
JFK here in the States.
the same day he was assassinated with the Beatles came out.
Right.
Okay. 5 years apart, those 2 albums. Okay, Andy. So that means that you have the option of automatically being the first person to get the 8th game. Or
Where are we at
question, whatever.
point wise? Where are we at point wise?
We have you at 9, Dylan has 2, and Ed has 1.
So it's
So you
question
think-
7 or question 8 now?
This is now 8.
Okay.
But there's 3 games to pick from. You don't have to pick any of them. You could just be treated like anybody else for the 8th game or question and go for 4 points. Or you can automatically say, I'm going for it.
So
With any
this
of
is
these
exclusively for me?
Yes, if you
Okay.
pick one of these games.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to tell you what the names of the games are. You probably don't know how to play each one. You have to guess for each. One's called The Word. Another one's called Famous Groupies. And the third one is a pair of true and false statements.
Okay. Can you specify what the word and famous groupies?
No, you don't. I can't tell you what the game is. You have to take a chance.
Okay. And the third one was true or false?
Yeah, but you know what that is. There's
Right.
2 statements and you have to be able to guess both of them correctly,
Right.
whether they're true or false. And by the way, if there's more than one answer, I didn't say this earlier, if there's more than one answer, I'm not going to tell you one at a time whether you're correct, only after you've given both answers. So if you go with the true and false, that's how it's handled.
Gotcha. I'm going to go with the word.
Okay. I'm just going to mention a unique word that's in the lyrics of a Beatles song or a solo Beatles song. You got to tell me what that is. The word is seance.
Okay. And if I don't get it right, do I lose my points?
You lose it. You
And-
already picked the game, so you've already volunteered.
Okay. Seance. Well, I guess I lost.
It's in the lyrics of, oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I caught myself there. Do you guys want to try?
Yeah.
Okay, Ed.
Cry, baby, cry.
That's right.
Oh, good on you, Ed.
Okay.
Wow.
Excellent there.
Yeah, I was drawing a blank there too.
That's a very difficult one to do
one of
when
my
you pick
faves,
just
one of my
one
faves.
word.
Now Ed gets the 4 points.
He gets the 4 points,
Okay.
which means that if he gets the last thing here, the last game, he's got 5 points, you've got 9. So Ed could.
No, Andy has 5 because he lost 4.
I
for
lost
not
them.
getting it.
That's right.
I had
That's very
5 now
good.
because I lost that.
Thank you, Dylan. Okay.
Hey, listen, if I can't win, I'm gonna damn sure make Andy doesn't win. Got to make sure he doesn't win.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do something here called Still Standing. And there was a Ringo song called Standing Still. That's why I'm doing this. This is a last man standing situation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mention, in this case, it's 2 words that I'm looking for that you can find in the titles of Beatle or solo Beatle songs. Each of you, one at a time, has to name a song that has one of those 2 words in the song title. You keep doing it until there's only one person left. If it just so happens that all 3 of you name all of them, you'll all get 5 points. Okay? So that's how it works. We're going to start with Dylan first, and then we'll do Andy and then Ed. Now, there's one more thing I got to specify here. If you mention a certain song title, you can't say the same song title and then the live recording of it. That doesn't
Okay.
count. If it just so happens you've got 2 different songs that have the same song title, that can count. All right. Just like Just Because, as we mentioned before, they're 2 completely different songs with the same song title. So I'm going to give each of you about 10 seconds, although probably in the very beginning, you'll name them quickly. The words I'm looking for is either boy or boys. Okay. We'll start with Dylan.
Let's do Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy by John Lennon.
Good. And you have to say the song and the artist too. I should specify that too. Okay. Andy.
Same word, right?
Boy or boys in the song title.
Okay. I'll go boys from Please Please Me.
Okay. Very good. Ed.
I'll go This Boy.
Okay.
From,
You don't have to say the album.
oh, okay.
You name the artist and we know
Okay,
who the artist
the
is
Beatles,
anyway.
yeah.
Okay. Back to Dylan.
Let's do Young Boy by Paul McCartney.
Very good. Andy.
Let's do Beautiful Boys by Yoko Ono. Double
That's
Fantasy.
No, it has to be a John Lennon song.
Or,
In that case, I mean, that's really a Yoko song.
oh, so all right. So it has to be a John song or it has to be.
In this case, Beautiful Boy counts. Beautiful Boys is a Yoko song on the album. It's got to be a Beatle or solo Beatle song.
Okay. I'll go Pretty Boys from McCartney 3, Paul.
Very nice. Okay. Ed.
Mm. Pressure's on. Blank it out.
Okay. I think you're out of the race here. Okay.
Yeah.
We gave you enough time.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. You're going to be very upset with yourself. And Dylan.
Let's go The Little Drummer Boy by Ringo Starr.
Excellent. Excellent, Dylan. Okay.
My turn, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go Girls and Boys, which was an early demo of Real Love by John Lennon.
But that wasn't released that way.
Yes, but it was on the Imagine
No.
soundtrack.
No, it was released as Real Love on the Imagine.
Parentheses, Boys and Girls, wasn't it?
No. It
You
said
sure?
Real Love. It said Real Love on the soundtrack.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Big Boys Bickering, Paul McCartney.
All right. The heat is on here. Dylan.
Let's go with my next choice.
Keep dragging it out, Dylan.
I will pick a song
Got to come up with something.
I am also blanking out. I'm out.
Okay. So Andy's the winner.
Do I need another song? Because I have one.
Well, you're the last one standing. You did name one the last time. You want to name another one?
Sure. Just to round it off in two legs file fashion, I'll go with Dear Boy.
All right.
Obviously.
Okay. The ones that you missed. Teddy Boy.
Bad Boy.
There's two Bad Boys. There's the Beatles and there's Ringo.
Ringo's.
I did say Teddy Boy. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah.
And Ed.
Yep.
For shame.
Ooh,
Oh,
no.
Oh,
my God.
man.
No. Oh,
How does
man,
Ed
I
work
am-
out on that?
For shame.
Not such a bad boy.
Oh,
Mr. Broadstreet?
okay. I got to retire the jacket, I guess. I don't know. Oh my
You
God.
could ship it to New Jersey.
I also, though, on Tom and Andy's show, I also proclaimed Dear Boy as my second favorite solo McCartney song. So shame on me too for not thinking
Dylan,
of
I
that,
thought you were
too.
going to say Dear Boy right off to the top. I did.
Yeah. Should
And
have had it.
there's one other song too.
Which is
One of the Boys.
Ringo. Right?
Oh, wow.
No, that's John.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
That was on the signature box set.
Yeah.
yes, yes, it
One
was.
of the bonus tracks.
The bonus
you know,
tracks on the
unreleased.
whole-
I wouldn't have thought of that. I didn't think of it until you just said it.
Me neither.
I just
Right.
ran into that moment where it's like my brain was trying to come up with something and then suddenly nothing happened.
I really thought once I had Little Drummer Boy that was going to be.
That was
like-
very impressive.
I was almost going to go with Oh Boy, but that's Buddy Holly, I think.
Right, you pull Little Drummer Boy out, but you forget Dear Boy. He had
Listen.
the deep pull ready, but he didn't have the obvious one ready.
Even heroes fall sometimes, but I'm honored to fall to my cohort, Andy.
Wow.
All right. So you have done two legs proud there, Andy.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. What was
Let me just recap here. The songs are Boys, Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy, Pretty Boys, One of the Boys, This Boy, Young Boy, Teddy Boy, The Two Bad Boys, Beatles, and Ringo. Not Such a Bad Boy, Big Boys Bickering. Very good, Andy, on that one. Little Drummer Boy and Dear Boy. All right. So that means that Andy is the new champion. And it also means that he's committed to being, part of this show for the next 5 years. No. I'm just kidding.
Got to read that fine print, Andy.
listen, you take the former champion. He knows. He knows what's going into this. When you played, Dylan, who did you play against?
Joe and Dave Ghosty Wills.
Yep.
Okay.
Who also laid a big fat goose egg. So Tom's not the only one.
Okay.
Sorry, Dave, if
Yeah.
you're watching this, to throw you under the bus like that. But
Don't let off Tom easy. No. Okay. All right. So Andy, you're gonna have to come back just for the next show to see if you can hold on to the throne.
Sure.
And I will find 2 other contestants here.
So
All
how
right.
many rounds do Ed and I need to sit out before we get to come on and try to exact our revenge?
It won't be that long. You know,
Yeah.
there are moments, because to tell everybody the truth, it's not always easy to get 3 people at the same time. So sometimes I don't have a third person to the last second or a day before. So you never know when I'll call on you.
Well, give Andy give him some fresh blood next time, but I'll be ready to go after that.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope everybody watching enjoyed it. And we'll do one.
It was a cool way to play the game. Ken, and the categories and the rules, and it wasn't just general trivia. I liked how you kind of keep it fresh and engaging and entertaining. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is the kind of thing I've been doing on the radio for 41 years. On my show, Every Little Thing. And if you check out my website, kenmichaelsradio.com, there's a page there for Beatles trivia and games. And there's a trivia question or a game. Actually, you know, since I thought we'd have a Red Rose Speedway question in here, considering the anniversary, I had one ready in case I needed to substitute.
Let's do it. Bonus round. Whoever gets this question right wins the whole thing.
I tell you what I'll do. Anyone that watches this will have a jump on the trivia question that I have on my website. I don't know if you read it, but Red Rose Speedway hit #1 in the United States on the Billboard charts for 3 weeks. What album did it knock out of #1? Go ahead, Dylan.
Dylan?
Yeah.
Living in the Material World?
No.
Actually, Blue Album.
You know, Ed was raising his hand there. You got to watch.
I had it raised.
Okay.
Andy, all right. Andy's officially disqualified. Me and Ed in a tiebreaker right now. Let's go.
No, Living in the Material World bumped Red Rose Speedway.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Living in the Material World was late May.
So it's kind of like it was in 1964, the Beatles knocking each other out. You had 1967 to 1970, #1 for 1 week, Red Rose Speedway for 3 weeks, Living in the Material World, my favorite album of all time, 5 weeks, 9 weeks in a row on the album charts. That was a very good year.
Yeah, and you guys, greatly talked about it at the fest, as I think it's widely accepted as the best year. I don't think hands down, it's the year.
Tom for sure.
Tom made a case for 1970, which is a really strong case for 1970 being the best year, but I think 73 that's it.
Yeah, well, it helps when all 4 Beatles have albums out in the same year. 74, where I think was really great, but you didn't have a Paul album, although you had the McGear album, but that's not
right.
McCartney
And just a great all-time single, but no album.
Right. Yeah. And then, we also debated, because we were going by releases of the year. What about a year like 76, where you had 3 of the Beatles with solo albums and Paul toured and did the monumental tour of Wings Over America? That could qualify. And I also mentioned 1989 because, well, you didn't have a lot from the solo Beatles. You had Flowers in the Dirt, and you had a tour from Paul and a tour from Ringo in the same year. And the first...
I think that's reaching.
I don't think that's reaching. I think that was really instrumental there. 2 Beatles touring in the same year, and the first time Ringo ever toured.
And historically important, but you're only getting so much new material.
Well, if you're
you're getting a little compilation called Best of Dark Horse with 3 brand new George Harrison tracks, which were new in 1989 as well. I know Small Potatoes, Dylan. It's not as iconic, but it's still a pretty cool year.
I'm not saying it's not a cool year. I just don't think you can compare those at all.
I agree.
No, if you're going strictly by what was released by the 4 Beatles, if they all released something in the same year, I don't see how anything can top 73. But 70 is definitely, close second.
70's close.
Damn close.
So, anyway, all of you watching, if you can, check out my website. You already know the answer to the trivia question, folks. You can win 1 of 10 prizes. Books, CDs, DVDs I give away every single week, kenmichaelsradio.com. Thanks to all of you for being here for the show. Dylan, Andy, and Ed, it's a blast having you. Thanks to all of you for watching. We'll do this again soon, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.